if we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So full disclosure on this pond, okay? I was not involved. And I feel bad being up here because I don't want people thinking, wow, he did this, he was part of this. The people who put it, to have a pond that honors our residents, disabled or not, veterans, seniors, that looks like that is accessible to so many different people. It's such an honor for me to work for this town and work side by side with the people who had so much to do with it. And I know they're not gonna take credit for it, so I'm gonna give them some credit. And I'm gonna miss some people, but Rob Rule, John Mullen, Mim Wagner, Richie, Ryan McNamara, Utility Commission Director, Jimmy Bartelli, the police department. Everybody has so many hands, and what people don't always understand is when projects like this come around for the town, it takes a tremendous amount of effort, and nothing changes. All the other work is still going on. So their wives, husbands, they'll tell you they weren't home when they were supposed to be home, and they were late, but they did it for us, and they really put something magnificent together. You don't see these projects going on in all towns because they're extremely hard to undertake. So I just want to get that out, and we give a round of applause for everybody who had something to do with it. We're going to start tonight's program with Recreation and Parks Director Ryan McNamara.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Holm's family members, and other distinguished guests, and fellow residents of Waterford. Tonight we gather to mark a significant milestone in our community, the opening of the accessible walkway within the Civic Triangle and around the Arnie Holmes Park. This project, approved by the Board of Selectmen almost 2 years ago, has transformed our beloved park into a more inclusive and vibrant space. The half-a-mile-long handicap accessible walkways now wind gracefully around the park, connecting us to the heart of our town. These pathways are not just concrete, they are bridges of opportunity, linking people of all abilities to nature, recreation, and each other. Education is sometimes a cornerstone of progress. Along the walkway, you'll find an overlook outdoor observatory of our vibrant ecosystem. Our commitment to education extends beyond as we envision workshops, guided tours, and interactive programs that empower our community to be environmental stewards. It is with great gratitude that we acknowledge the different departments, the First Selectmen, the Planning and Zoning, Utilities, Public Works, the Volunteer Committee with people speaking tonight that put in their time and efforts, and the countless contracted employees that were here putting this gem together for us. Their work and leadership helped make this project a reality. Creating this gem required patience, a virtue we've cultivated together. From the initial approvals to the final touches, we've overcome challenges, celebrated some small victories, and worked tirelessly. Today, we bask in the glow of our collective effort. Let this walkway remind us that great things take time, but they are worth every step. Although the sun did not cooperate, Waterford shines brighter today, and the gem behind us sparkles. Thank you from the Recreation and Parks Commission for all your support, and we share in the excitement and opportunity that await. Thank you.
Our next speaker is the chairwoman. To have somebody with the credibility of Mim to come out and take up her time during retirement to spearhead this project was huge. So if we can all give it up for Mim Wagner.
Good evening, everybody. It's so wonderful to see so many folks out, even though we weren't able to cut a ribbon outside. So I thank all of you for coming and honoring the work that was done for the last few years. Actually, several years ago, we were in the midst of COVID. Rob Rule gave me a call and asked me to come to his office. Being a former middle school principal, I thought I was getting in trouble for something. But in fact, Rob asked if I would chair the ad hoc committee of what would be eventually called the Civic Triangle Project. I listened to him describe his vision of what could be done, in fact, what needed to be done to reclaim this focal point in our community. He spoke about an accessible park, a healthy pond, a vibrant gathering place for everyone. Amazingly, here we are today. Rob, we would not be here today without your vision and without your driving force to accomplishment. So first of all, a big thank you. It's been an honor to work with the committee and staff to restore the gemstone of the park and its environs. I wish to thank the members of the committee who met over the past 4 years to guide the process. Chrissy Wagner, Tracy Santos. Tracy, are you here? There you are, thanks Tracy. Melissa Chaponi, is Melissa? There she is. And Nancy Shagru, I saw her in the back. And also we need to acknowledge Jody Nazarchuk, who started the process with us and is no doubt thrilled as we cross the finish line. These ladies were integral in working as a team to gather community feedback, review the design plans, sweat over funding, and the selection of the final amenities. We still have work to do, and I look forward to continuing that work as we continue. However, it's the worker bees that get a job done, and the town of Waterford is blessed with a professional, dedicated staff who oversaw the nitty-gritty work. Planning Director Jonathan Mullen, where are you, John? Give us a wave. There he is. He assumed the project. He got the job after Abby, our planning director, former planning director, moved on, and literally he stepped into pond muck right away. Working with the dream team of Ryan McNamara, Director of Parks and Recreation, and Maureen Fitzgerald, our environmental planner, they all oversaw the day-to-day tasks associated with the plan, revisions, budget appropriations, permit requests, contractor bids, and yes, even turtle rescues. I am proud of the pond, but so much more proud of the work you guys do day in and day out for everyone in our town. Thank you. Finally, I believe the key decision that we made collectively was to hire Chad Frost as our landscape architect, and there's Chad over there. He worked with us from the very beginning at our community forums. He listened to everyone in the community who spoke and filled out our surveys. His work included everything from preparing our documents for bidding to recommendations for lighting poles, trash receptacles, attending many meetings. It is rare that you see something visualized in the artistic site plan and see it come to life, but that's exactly what happened here. This park is a testament to Chad's design skill and his perseverance. He's already asking me what's next, what's the next phase. We will be forever grateful for your work, Chad. Our family and my daughters here tonight visited the pond and the library when they were little. We would walk all around this beautiful space. And now 1 generation later, I'm proud to take my grandsons here. But this summer and last, we had to look through the fence. So we are eagerly awaiting the ribbon cutting. It will be so wonderful to take them on a walk around our hometown pond. Thank you.
So when there's a new committee formed, I'll usually show up at the first meeting and just to get them off on the right track, make sure they understand how to choose a chair and the little things like that. and they knew exactly what was going on. But I stayed for the meeting, and I gave my 2 bits on the project, and I remember saying to them, you might not remember, I said, you gotta be able to walk around the pond. And we all kind of agreed, boy, did they go next level with this. This isn't just walking around the pond. There's a lot to do down there. So our next speaker is Richie Weiss. Oh, Chrissy, I'm sorry. You were down there. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chrissy Wagner. I am honored to stand before you today as a proud resident of Waterford for over 30 years. I went to public school here. I returned here after college, and I now live here with my husband Darren and our 14-year-old son Jameson. The Duck Pond, a beloved spot in Waterford, holds special memories for me, for many of us, I think. When I was asked to join the committee to help make this area ADA compliant, I jumped at the chance. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It affects my bones, and it makes me unsteady when I walk. Sometimes I need a scooter for long distances. It also affects other body systems. I've had 2 strokes. I understand firsthand the challenges of accessibility. Bringing my son to the pond when he was younger was difficult for me because the ground was uneven, so it made it unsafe for me. Now, thanks to this project, I can safely enjoy the pond with my family. Today marks a milestone in making our community more inclusive. It's about ensuring that everyone, regardless of their abilities, can enjoy the beauty of our town's landmarks. I'm grateful for the opportunity to contribute to this project, and I look forward to seeing the positive impact that it will have on our community. Thank you.
So a lot of people always refer to the duck pond as the duck pond, and it's actually the Arnie Holm duck pond. And to really honor somebody like that in that way, and now so many people are visiting it for the first time, and they're visiting that plaque for the first time. It's just great to have it here in town. So I'm going to invite up Richie Weiss, Arnie's relative, and he's going to say a few words.
Thank you all for coming today, especially those guests who knew my uncle, Captain Arnold Holm Jr., and distinguished guests who are present today. On behalf of my family, especially Arnie's sister, my mother, Meg Brewster, Arnie's widow, my aunt, Marge Holm, who made the trip from Florida to attend, would like to thank the Waterford Town Center Ad Hoc Committee for redoing the park. I personally would like to thank the First Selectman, Ron Brule, and the Town Planner, Jonathan Mullen, who not only kept me informed of the progress, but allowed me to assist with the planning around the monument. I would also like to thank the former First Selectman, the late Dan Stewart, who helped originally to have the park named after my uncle in 2013. The citizens of Waterford, thank you for your support. I'm very proud and honored to have a few combat veterans from Waterford and elsewhere with us tonight. I am sorry that my uncle's best friend from childhood, Bill Cavallari, is unable to attend. Bill was a strong force, and having Arnold Holm never be forgotten. My uncle and Bill grew up in Tiffany Avenue neighborhood, which is just a few hundred yards away, and they would walk through the park many times to get to the high school. A lot of his high school friends and classmates are aware of his unprecedented accomplishments in a short life of 28 years. Briefly in high school, Captain Arnold Holmes was a National Honor Society student and a 3-star athlete, elected team captain in each of those sports. Captain Holmes gave up a college football scholarship and joined the United States Army. He was highly decorated and promoted 10 times in 10 years. His many military awards and medals are listed on the monument. My family feels that the park was done purposefully and with intention. The committee, the first selectman, and town planner did an outstanding, intensive planning with a clear goal in mind to redo this park. It means a lot to our family that the town of Waterford remembers, recognizes, and celebrates Captain Arnold Holm Jr. in honor of his life. Thank you.
He didn't just assist in the planning. I drove by, I don't know, about a month ago, and Jimmy and Rich were out there doing something, and I came back like an hour and a half later. They're still out there. I pulled in, I walked down. They're putting plaques up there. You know, if I did it, I would have been using like double-sided tape or something. I mean, they put these things in right, and they will be there 100 years from now. So he didn't just plan this; he was out there in it. Our featured speaker, who's always reflected our military and our veterans in the town so well, and we're just so honored to have him here. It's retired Brigadier General Ron Welch.
Dave, thank you for that kind introduction. Thank you, everybody, for having me tonight. Wish you a very good evening, all the distinguished guests and family members and friends that join us. A very special acknowledgement to our Gold Star family members that are here tonight. We are grateful for the service and most significant sacrifice of your loved ones. Gave his life for our great country. To anyone currently serving in the military, and any one of the veterans that may join us here tonight, and I know there are several in the audience, we can never thank you enough for your service and sacrifice. I'm really honored to be a resident of this beautiful, historic, and patriotic town. I've lived here now for several decades, and now, fortunately, my oldest son, who's over here on the right, is also still in town. My mom's in town, and we couldn't live in a better place in the United States. I was asked a little bit ago by First Selectman Rob Brule to make some brief remarks on behalf of our fallen hometown hero, U.S. Army Captain Arnold Edward Holm. This evening, we pause to respect, remember, and honor the distinguished service and ultimate sacrifice of Captain Holm. As many of you know, he lost his life tragically on the 11th of June, 1972, as a United States Army aviator flying a small observation helicopter called an OH-6 Alpha. To Captain Holm's wife, Marguerite, daughter Jennifer, sister Meg, and best friend Bill Cavalieri, no words that I can say would ever be enough to lessen the emotional stress, pain, and suffering that you've experienced over the past 52 years with this most significant loss of Arnie. How fitting it is to have this beautiful park named in his honor and memory of a true American patriot and hero. How ironic it is that he grew up so close to the park, enjoying skating, and I'm sure he jumped in the pond a couple times like most of us would have done, and ran around the park with Bill and probably Jimmy and a bunch of his other friends and relatives. I remember learning about Captain Holm when my eldest son, Stephen, received the Captain Arnold E. Holm Scholarship when he graduated from Waterford High School in 2003. No doubt that award left a big impression on Stephen and so many others that have received this award. He would attend college, enlist in the military, deployed twice to Afghanistan as an infantry soldier and leader, and once to Africa as an officer and a physician assistant. Steve recently became a flight surgeon and he's still serving after 20 years. He will be promoted next Wednesday to the rank of major. I know he's extremely embarrassed. I almost don't want to leave after this because he's going to hammer me, because we know this isn't about Steve, but this is really about Arnie and his significant loss. I just had to draw some kind of comparison because I'm still amazed at that connection with Stephen receiving that award in Arnie's memory and honor. After Arnie served as a captain of, as Richie said, 3 sports, which is amazing: football, basketball, and baseball. And he received that scholarship to Springfield College, the one that I wasn't smart enough to get into. I would arguably say that is the best school for athletes in the Northeast part of the United States. And he left, he walked away, and selflessly chose to serve his great nation. As many of you know, because of his strong leadership skills and his athletic abilities, he would quickly rise through the ranks, serving as a drill sergeant, training and mentoring younger soldiers, and would serve as a role model for the next generation of soldiers. That generation was my generation. He would serve in tank units and would attend flight school, which is extremely difficult to get through and be a graduate of flight school and become a United States Army combat aviator. He would sadly be lost with his crew members at the young age of 28 years old in South Vietnam. What a remarkable story. The friendship Bill had and desires for answers to what really happened during this tragic incident. Bringing this mission right back here to his hometown, right back to Waterford High School, having the former principal, Don Macrino, civics teacher, Brent Arnold, and his students enthusiastically join in the search for answers as to what actually occurred. Also significant was the community that rallied around, along with support from Vietnam veteran and Congressman and retired Colonel Rob Simmons, along with Joe Courtney. And from what I understand, Rob made a trip over to Vietnam to look for Arnie's remains. It literally took a village. It took the Waterford Village right here in town to get answers, to push for that search, to look for Captain Holmes and his crew members' remains. So as I close, congratulations, Rob, for your leadership, and congratulate to everybody that was involved. To have that strategic vision, doing all the planning behind the scenes, all the coordination to make this beautiful park a reality that'll last for several generations. In talking to Rob a couple days ago, we both agreed. We know Jody Nazarchek is smiling down from heaven on this park rededication. Thank you, Bill Cavalieri and others, for never giving up and for showing us all what true friendship is about, both during someone's lifetime and beyond. May God bless you. God bless America.
So I'm going to bring Rob up here in a second, but when this project first started, Rob really hit the ground running with this one. It was truly important to him. From minute one, it was about the disabled residents and the seniors in town, that this would be accessible for them. And I think he kind of knocked it out of the park with everybody working behind him. He kept contractors on target, protected our investment along the way, and I'm elected. He's not my boss, by the way. So I truly thank him for everything he's done. Rob Rule.
Thank you, David. First, I'd like to just take a moment to say what an honor it is to be here closing tonight's event. Following Waterford's highest distinguished serviceman, retired Brigadier General Ron Welsh, who I've gotten to know pretty well over these past 4 years, and I've never met such an honorable man. So thank you very much for taking time to be here for all of us. Thank you again for making time, all of you, to come out for this very special evening. I'd like to sincerely thank everyone up here on the panel for their kind words and commitment to this incredible project. When you kind of talk and mention my name, you have to mention first bipartisan. You have to actually say both parties agreed to do this special project. Both sides needed a little encouragement and a little high-fiving along the way, but we did it, and that's what Waterford does. When you want something, you need something, you do it together. So on behalf of one side of the aisle to the other, it was great working with everyone in the Board of Finance, the Board of Selectmen, and the RTM in a bipartisan way. So thank you for just being great people to work with. I'd also like to acknowledge elected officials who trusted me to select Waterford's ARPA projects back when the $5 million came out to Waterford. That was a big deal. And you supported this project, which was great because we did have support from the RTM. Today we gather here not just as a community but as a family, united in our shared commitment to remember, to honor, and to ensure that the legacy of our heroes endures for generations to come. It is with profound respect and deep gratitude that I stand before you tonight to officially mark the rededication of the Arnold E. Holm Jr. Memorial Park, along with Recreation and Parks Director Ryan McNamara. It is great to see Ron Bugby here this evening. You've done so much for this town and this community, so it's great that you're here tonight. So thank you for everything you've done for the town of Waterford. Thank you for that. As you have heard earlier from previous speakers, Arnie Holm was a man of extraordinary courage and unwavering dedication. His heroism in the Vietnam War is etched in the annals of our nation's and Waterford's history. And his sacrifice is a solemn reminder of the price of freedom. Captain Holm, like so many brave men and women who have served our country, stood in the face of unimaginable challenges, embodying the highest ideals of duty, honor, and patriotism. We owe him and all our servicemen and women a debt of gratitude that words alone can never fully repay. This park you will all see lit up tonight for the very first time. And it might be raining. You may be in your car. And we may not have hooked up all the electrical right. But we're hoping tonight, when it is dark, you take a special trip by this amazing, amazing park that this group of volunteers managed to do. So, Captain Holm Honor, it's more than just a tribute to his memory. It is a living testament to the values he upheld. It is a place where the spirit of service, sacrifice, and community will come to life every day. Tonight's rededication is a reaffirmation of our commitment to those values and to the legacy of Captain Holm and all who have served. But today is not just about looking back. It is also about looking forward. In rededicating this space, we are ensuring that it will continue to be a place of peace, reflection, and recreation for all members of our community. Creating accessible park spaces is vital to fostering a healthy, vibrant community. Parks like this one offer residents a place to connect with nature, engage in physical activities, and build social connections, all of which are essential for our overall well-being. We must always remember that true inclusivity means making sure that everyone, regardless of age or ability, can enjoy these benefits. By ensuring that Arnold E. Holm Jr. Memorial Park is accessible to all, we are not just creating a space, we are creating a community. A community where everyone can come together, enjoy the beauty of our surroundings, and strengthen the bonds that make Waterford such a special place to live. As I wrap up my comments, tonight's rededication would not be possible without the tireless efforts of many. And before I go any further, I rarely do this one. I'm going to thank my wife, Kim, for all the things she does behind the scenes to make this possible for me. And I'm not even going to look at her so you don't know where she is. So thank you, Kim. I love you. Thank you for your support. Now the town extends our heartfelt thanks to the Waterford Recreation and Parks Commission, Director Ryan McNamara, and dedicated staff. Your commitment to making our town's parks welcoming and enjoyable for all enriches our community and enhances our quality of life. Your efforts ensure that Captain Holm's legacy will continue to inspire future generations. To Richie Weiss and Billy Cavalier, who I spoke on the phone, and Jimmy for being here tonight, we could not have done this without your guidance. And I just hope we made you and the family and friends of Arnie proud. I would like to acknowledge our amazing leader and personally thank Chairwoman Mim Wagner for actually saying yes to meeting with me a couple of years ago.
Did I have a choice?
And then sharing a vision. I will never forget that day or that meeting. To Chrissy and the entire ad hoc committee who's here tonight, thank you for attending all the meetings, raising the bar, and putting a strong voice behind accessibility. And finally, to my team of employees, directors, consultants, job well done. Our Rec and Parks and Utility Commission maintainers, you're the best. We love you. If you're here, thank you. To John Mullen, Maureen Fitzgerald, Kim Allen, Jim Bartelli, Gary Schneider, Shannon Withy, thank you for going above and beyond, always. And I'd be remiss if I did not mention and thank, like Mim did, architect Chad Frost and contractor Josh Sahaki. Incredible, incredible, incredible. In closing, I'm gonna do this again. This sole bidder came in and said, we will do this because it means something to us. We underbid pretty heavily, and this contractor came in and said, we're local. Waterford's been good to us. We will take this job. The only bidder. So when I say Josh Sahaki, thank you so much for everything you did for this project. It means a lot to all of us. In closing, let us remember the sacrifices of all our servicemen and women, honor their courage, and recommit ourselves to building a community that reflects the values they fought to protect. May this park continue to be a place of honor, reflection, and joy for all who visit, and thank you for being here tonight. May God bless the family of Arnold Holm Jr., may God bless the town of Waterford, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you. I got one special announcement. When you travel and you come up to a great ceremony like this, Marguerite Holm, would you please come up? You have a special announcement to make tonight.
Very emotional. My name is Marguerite Holm, and I've always known that Richard and Arnie had a very special relationship. I was asked to keep it short. I'll keep it very short. This is Arnie's 1962 varsity sweater.
How about a nice round of applause for Marguerite? Thank you. You were great and short. We love you. Thank you very much.
So, wow, that was great. That was really great. And to Josh, the work your crew did, I drove by there 2-3 times a day, and sometimes you see a government project going on and you think, oh geez, there's one person working and 5 people just watching. Not your guys. You're right on top of them. Thank you for that. And I do like this 3-inch platform I'm on. I can really see some faces that I normally don't see. I'd like to bring up Joe Priest to do our closing prayer.
Josh, I'd like you to know it was divine intervention that you took care of this for us. I'd just like to ask you for a minute before I close with this brief prayer. I hope you all look around the room tonight and realize how fortunate we are to live in this village community that we call Waterford. My wife and I grew up here. We raised our kids here. We ran a business here. I've come back to serve the Waterford Police Department here. and I perfectly intend on dying here as well. But we are a special community. And not that we don't have our knocks, not that we don't have our disagreements, but we truly are a village that works together to make this home. And I think when we honor one of our own, as we're doing tonight, it makes me realize how fortunate we are, how truly blessed we are to live in this community, the village of Waterford. And before I close with this brief prayer, I'm going to ask you to take a moment of silence to remember Arnold Holm Jr., Captain Arnold Edward Holm Jr., and the veterans that are in this room, and all the other veterans that have since passed. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. Let us pray. Today, Lord, we gather to celebrate the completion and dedication of the Arnold Holm Park. Captain Arnold Edward Holm Jr. gave his life for his country, and is a reminder to all of us of the horrific cost of war. Today, in honoring Captain Holm, we honor all those who served and sacrificed so much that we might be here today. We ask you, Lord, to continue to bless our community of Waterford as we come together to enjoy the festivities of this weekend. We are grateful to have the many hands that make this weekend possible for all of us to enjoy. Without our community coming together, none of the celebration could happen. So thank you, Lord, for all that you do for us, and it's with grateful hearts that we say amen.
Amen.
Boy, that's it. So I guess a lot of us are going to take a walk around the park and go see it. So everybody's welcome to join us. Thank you so much for coming out.
Could all the class of 62 families, class of 62, please come up for a photo. Thank you.